It was the height of the Cold War. In a dimly lit Pentagon basement, a young radio engineer walked briskly past guarded doors, unaware that the secrets he was about to uncover would change his life forever. Stephen Lovekin had joined the military in 1958, just after graduating from a private Quaker prep school in Pennsylvania. But the path he found himself on wouldn't lead to a normal military career. It would pull him into the deepest shadows of U.S. intelligence, into a world few ever glimpse. Born during the Great Depression, Lovekin grew up under the looming pressure of global war and nuclear brinkmanship, a world where silence was power and loyalty wasn't optional. After completing basic training, he was transferred to the Pentagon. There, things shifted. His role moved quickly from routine military work into the realm of classified operations. First, the Army's Radio Frequency Engineering Office. Then, he was recruited into one of the most elite, highly secured branches of government communications, the White House Army Signal Agency. He was no longer just a technician. He was now embedded at the core of America's most sensitive conversations.
I served under Eisenhower from May of 1959 until he got out of office, and then I served under Kennedy until I left the service in August of 1961.
Lovekin claimed that through a series of top-secret clearances, he began to witness discussions of recovered technologies, phenomena that defied known physics, power sources that could alter life on Earth forever. But all of it, he said, was buried beneath layers of compartmentalization and silence.
They thought that they could also keep the intelligence factor as secret as possible by giving little agencies a little bit here and a little bit there.
Information was tightly controlled. People were deliberately kept in isolated boxes. And behind it all, a simple truth. These secrets didn't just protect national security, they protected power. Behind closed doors, conversations weren't always direct. They came in fragments. A passing remark, a paused sentence, a document left too long in view. That's how it started. But over time, a shape began to form. There were references to recovered vehicles, technology not made by human hands. And stranger still, the beings recovered with them.
They did discuss the fact that there were bodies. Extraterrestrial bodies, yes.
Even the president, he says, wasn't fully briefed. Not because of oversight, but because of design.
Eisenhower got sold out. He lost control of the entire UFO situation.
This is compartmentalization, not denial, division. Slicing truth into fragments so no one person ever holds the full picture. And at the center of it all, a revelation more disruptive than alien life: how they fly. They didn't burn energy, they drew it, pulled from the environment itself.
The sources of energy that keep these vehicles in propulsion are sources of energy that are just as free can be. And they don't cause any harm to the environment. They don't cause any footprints to be left anywhere.
Many whistleblowers, from physicists to engineers, have echoed the same thing, that the most disruptive truth isn't the existence of the craft, but the energy behind them. What bothered him most wasn't just the cover-up, but what the world had lost. A planet struggling with war, poverty, and pollution. And here was technology that could make it all obsolete. But instead of sharing it, they buried it. Not to protect the people, to protect the system.
But that these sources would mean free power, and free power is something that corporations panic about, and I think this government panics about it. How are you going to tax free power?
That's why, he said, it stayed hidden. Not because the world wasn't ready, but because those in power weren't willing. And for decades, silence did its job, until men like Lovekin began to speak.
Given the fact that we're having a real question about how to deal with the high price of Arab oil right now, Bush is, as you know, is trying to insist that we go into some of the Arctic regions and take more oil out. I, for one, don't see that as an answer. I think that would be totally, with the situation with the global warming situation being what it is, that would just be another nail in our coffin. But at some point in time, and I don't know when that will be, but at some point in time, we are going to have to be faced with the sharing of this information that will allow us to have free energy. A graduate student in college dealing with physics understands that there are certain curves where this speed factor does not mean a thing. That certain curve factors in space, that time and space take on a totally new dimension. The government knows this. It's foolish for them to try to make the rest of us look like imbeciles in saying that this can't happen. Well, it can happen.